Risk Management as Applied to Safety, Security, and Sanitation, TAU 041. Module 18 and 19. Let's start with the Module 18. Lesson title is Use of Safety Devices. For Module 18, lesson objectives, at the end of this module, you should be able to first, understand the system communications and devices. Second, you should understand the input and output devices. Third, you should know security system. And lastly, develop security communication link to monitor your organizations that require high security. First, let's talk about the use of safety devices. What is security system and how does it work? We all know that all home security systems work on the same basic principle of securing entry points like your doors or mga pintuan, windows, as well as interior space containing valuables like art, your computers, yung mga PC, guns or mga firearms for self-defense, and coin collections or yung mga, for example, mga luxury bags, mga antiques kasama po doon. Regardless of the size of your home, the number of doors and windows of or interior rooms a homeowner decide to protect, the only real difference is in the number of security components deployed throughout the home and monitored by the control panel. So what is security system? Based on your module, it is the most basic definition of any security system is found in its name. It is literally a means or method by which something is secured through a system of interworking components and devices. You know what? In this instance, we're talking about home security system, which are networks of integrated electronic devices working together with a central control panel to protect against burglars and other potential home intruders. Look at this one. A typical home security system include first a control panel, which is a primarily controller of a home security system. Door and window sensors, motion sensors both interior and exterior, wired or wireless security cameras, a high-decibel siren or alarm, a yard sign, and window stickers. As we go through our topic, we will discuss all of it. So next, how does a security system work? Home security system work on the simple concept of securing entry points into a home with sensors that communicate with a control panel or command center installed in a convenient location somewhere in the home. The sensors are typically placed in doors that lead to and from a house as well as easily accessible window, particularly any that open. Lahat ng bukas po. Especially those at the ground level kasi mas accessible siya. Okay? Pwedeng matrigger yung security natin. Like open spaces inside of homes can be secured with motion sensors. So let's talk about those security system. First, we have the control panel. Control panel is a computer that arms and disarms the security system. It communicates with each installed component, sounds the alarm when a security zone is breached, okay? And communicates with an alarm monitoring company. They typically feature a touchpad for easy programming and interaction. It's where passcodes are entered to arm and disarm the system. It can work on voice commands, yung mga boses lang po yung ginagamit. It can be programmed to work with wireless and remote control keys, pubs, okay? Let's talk about door and window sensors. Usually ito makikita mo to sa lahat sa mga malls, hotels, mga private establishments, karamihan meron silang door and window sensors. If we say doors or door and window sensors, it is comprised of two parts installed adjacent to each other. One part of the device is installed on the door or window and the other on the door frame or window sill. When a door or window is closed, the two parts of the sensor are joined together, creating a security circuit. For motion sensors, marami to sa mga airports. These security components, when armed, protect a given space by creating an invisible zone that cannot be breached without sounding an alarm. These are typically used to protect rooms containing valuables, as such as areas less frequented in larger homes. Surveillance cameras, like sa school natin, maraming mga surveillance camera in every part na talagang dinadaanan or pinupuntahan ng mga estudyante. It is available in both wired and wireless configurations. Surveillance cameras can be used in several different ways as part of an overall security system. Typical uses include monitoring, first, hard to see or distant areas of your property, remote buildings like garage, barns, and workshops. Entry points, both exterior and interior, like garage doors and front doors. Like sa school natin, if you can see all the entrance and exits area of the school, meron tayong CCTV. And also all the corridors, meron po tayo. Okay, let's talk about the high decibel alarm. But balik tayo sa natin, sa surveillance cameras. Surveillance cameras can be assessed remotely on computers, smartphones, and tablets. They are often used in this method when homeowners are out of town to watch for deliveries and other service personnel like caregivers, landscapers. Like, yung sa mga TikTok na makikita nyo, meron dun yung mga videos ng mga kasambahin nila kasama yung mga babies nila. Meron silang access sa surveillance camera using their mobile phones. Pero ang commonly is sa computer siya. Makikita siya parang i-connect yung mga surveillance camera. Like sa mga establishment natin na malalaki, meron tayong mga CCTV rooms na kung saan dun nakikita lahat ng areas na nako-cover ng surveillance camera natin. Okay, let's now move on to the high decibel alarm. It is loud enough for neighbors to hear. Home security alarms serve a few different purposes. First, they alert the people inside the house that a problem occurred. They are also shrill enough to send a bulgar running while also notifying nearby neighbors to a situation. Maganda to guys kasi ma-alarm kayo mismo bilang asa loob ng bahay. Syempre, kasama na rin dito yung mga nakapaligid sa inyo. Para pag may emergency, mas madaling mapuntahan or mas madaling matulungan. Okay? For yard sign and window stickers, eto yung on the surface, these items might seem like nothing more than marketing tools for alarm companies, but they play important roles in home security. Bakit po? When you place a security company sticker in a front window and plant their sign in your front yard, you are telling burglars your home is professionally protected and not a wise choice for attempt burglary. Kumbaga, mas matatakot sila kasi nga protected kayo eh. Meron kayong mas strong security system sa bahay nyo. For Module 19 naman, bilisan na lang natin siya. Events of uncertain or unpredictable route cause. Okay, for our lesson objective. At the end of this module, you should be able to define the different risk management strategies, create greater awareness to better manage the impact of natural disaster, and know the type of disasters including natural and man-made. Okay? Okay, let's talk about the events of uncertain or unpredictable root cause. Kumbaga kanina, mapaghahandaan natin siya kasi nga meron tayong mga security system, mga strong foundation para maging mas safer yung lugar natin or specifically yung mga bahay natin. Ito naman, pag-uusapan natin dito yung uncertain or unpredictable root cause. Ito na yung mga disaster, ito na yung mga baha, mga kalamidad. Okay? The strategies to manage risk typically include transferring the risk to another party or yung risk transfer na tinatawag natin, avoiding the risk or tinatawag natin na risk avoidance. Okay? Reducing the adverse effect or probability of the risk or tinatawag naman natin na risk reduction or even accepting some or all the potential or actual consequences of a particular risk or tinatawag natin na risk acceptance. Ito yung certain aspect of many, what do you call this, many of the risk management standards have come under criticism for having no measurable improvement on risk, whether the confidence in estimates the decision seems to increase. Okay, we have two. First, the negative events or the risk that needs to be managed, and the positive events which are the opportunities that can be maximized. Okay, let's now talk about disaster. Alam ko naman lahat kayo alam niyo ng mga disaster, no? Pero disaster, sabi dito, vulnerability plus hazard, okay, and capacity is equal to disaster. A disaster is a sudden, calamitous event that seriously disrupts the functioning of a community or society and causes human, material, and economic or environmental losses that exceed the community's or society ability to cope using its own resources. Natural and human-caused disaster, sometimes naapektuhan nito yung thousands of people sa isang taon. Major adverse events such as ito yung mga this have the potential to cause catastrophic loss of life and physical destruction. Okay, people who live through a disaster can experience emotional distress. Siyempre ba naman, ikaw ba naman minsan ang mga bagyuhin, lindulin, di ba, masunugan. Grabe ang epekto nito sa ating mental health. Magkakaroon tayo ng mga emotional distress na tinatawag nga nila. Tapos many people can bounce back from the disasters with the help from family and community. But others may need additional support to cope and move forward on a path of recovery. Lagi natin tatandaan na anyone can be at risk, 'di ba? Sabi nga natin, sa lahat ng pagkakataon merong risk, including survivors living in the impacted areas and first responders and recovery worker. Okay, pag-usapan naman natin ngayon ito yung mga natural na disaster or natural disasters. Natural disasters are large-scale geological, tandaan na, natural disaster are large-scale geological or meteorological events that have the potential to cause loss of life or property. Okay, hindi lang po buhay, pati mga ari-arian din. Okay? Ito siya, yung mga type ng disasters natin like tornadoes, severe storms, hurricanes, and tropical storm, floods, wildfires, earthquakes, and drought or pagkatuyo. Okay, nagkasalita ako. Wala pala akong ano. An earthquake, the sudden and disruptive shaking of Earth, is result of the Earth's tectonic plates moving. It's also what caused volcanic activity. For weather disaster, while these types of disaster generally occur within time of a year, due to prevailing climate, they are caused by very particular atmospheric conditions. Sa Pilipinas, usually, prone tayo sa mga weather disaster na ganito. Yung mga sa, what do you call this, mga bagyo-bagyo mga ganyan. Okay, mga pagbaha, lagi tayo dyan. Okay, this type of disaster are best looked to, at together or altogether to substantial overlap. For example, hurricanes specifically form over the ocean as such primarily affect coastal regions. Tornadoes also have limited range of areas where they regularly form. Thunderstorms occur more broadly. Okay, sa mga sa bansa like US, dyan usi mga hurricanes na ganyan, mga thunderstorm. Pero sa Pilipinas, medyo hindi naman tayo nagkakaroon ng ganyan. For man-made disasters naman, example include industrial accidents, shooting acts of terrorism, and incidents of mass violence. Like for example, ito yung pinakasikat natin, yung tragic loss of life that occurred on September 11, 2001. Okay, tanda natin yun, di ba? Yung September 11, 2001 na event natin. Ito yung isa sa mga man-made disaster natin. The feeling of loss of security and well-being. It is actually the most crucial ingredient for leading a happy, healthy life, dramatically affected the citizens of United States. Okay? Disaster distress helpline staff are also trained to respond to calls or texts related to this type of disaster. Ito yung parang may terrorism sa isang eroplano na binangga sa building. Tapos maraming buhay ang nawala dahil po dito. For incidents of mass violence, if natural disaster were not enough, humans have contributed their own share of catastrophic accidents. As new technology develops, unseen risks or improper precaution can result in tragedy. Okay. Other incidents of mass trauma, infectious disease outbreak, incidents of community unrest, and other type of traumatic events can also bring out strong emotions in people, like the COVID pandemic. Okay? Ito siya, di ba? It is a global pandemic that brought health and economic crisis. The pandemic started last 2020 and reported to cause human from asymptomatic to mild critical symptoms and even resulted in a significant number of mga casualties natin, 'di ba? Alam naman natin 'yan, apektuhan tayo, like we have to wear masks, face masks, face shield, PPEs na talagang nakaapekto sa emotional being ng bawat isa. Okay? This discussion po is guide lang siya. Kumbaga para lang maintindihan natin, although na-discuss naman na 'to o nasa module nyo naman na siya lahat. Kumbaga, pasadahan lang natin siya para mas maintindihan po natin. Okay, for your recitation or graded recitation for 18 and 19, comment on your words, comment your gathered words na asa buong presentation natin na to, and please comment it sa inyong GCR, private comment po. Thank you so much, guys.